Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dines with Dara on the Joy Slot podcast, brought to you by IrishSportsDaily.com. I am Greg Flammang. That is Dara Mabrey, and we are very excited to welcome back to the show, friend of the pod, head coach of the Notre Dame women's basketball team, Niele Ivey. We have so much to talk to her about. We've got a bunch of new transfers. We got an exciting new freshman, just like last year. Dara's been practicing with the team, so we've got some insight there. We're going to talk to her about her expectations for the season, how practices are going, and, handling the fact that Notre Dame is going to be one of the favorites to be a national championship contender in 2024, 2025. That's going to be very exciting. You want to check out that interview. And as always, we are brought to you by ESQ Clothing, founded by Notre Dame alum Ga Wang. You've seen ESQ on all your favorite Notre Dame players and coaches. With over a decade of making the best custom clothing available, ESQ will help you look and feel your best in 2024. From a perfect fitting suit or sport coat, shirt or bomber jacket, or the perfect tuxedo for wedding season, check out Ga's amazing work at esqclothing.com. Book an appointment to upgrade your wardrobe today. Mention ISD and get 10% off your entire purchase. Dara, before we get to Coach Ivey, what are you excited to talk to her about? What are you excited to kind of figure out here as we bring her on and get some answers to some of these questions?
I'm just excited to hear her talk about how excited she is about this team this year. She's had a lot going on this summer. She was busy winning the Americup. She won the gold medal. She missed some time with the team, maybe a week or two. I know she was itching to get back to it. And when she got back to it, I'm just excited to hear her talk about, the smile on her face every day, given the potential of this group and what she's been seeing so far, and maybe some stuff, that she might think the team will need more of. And I'm really excited to hear her talk about leadership specifically, given one of our biggest leaders returns to play this year, Olivia Miles, who we've all dearly missed. So I'm just excited to talk to Coach in a setting, outside of practice, see what she thinks.
Yes, you weren't there. So last year, I had her on the show in the preseason. You weren't on that podcast, and so this is the first time you're gonna get to talk to her outside of the player-coach relationship. Now you are part of the media. So that's going to be fun. It's interesting. I'm interested to hear about what part of the process this is, right? It's very much preseason. Practice has already started. What is the structure of that? Like you said, she won a gold medal. She's handled a lot of adversity over the last 2 seasons with injuries, 2023 and 2024. And so it would be interesting to see if she can handle some good fortune, right, on the injury front, having a full roster. So that's going to be very exciting. But without further ado, let's get to our conversation with head coach of Notre Dame women's basketball, Niele Ivey. And we are back with head coach of Notre Dame women's basketball, Niele Ivey, friend of the pod, her second chance on this show. We're happy to have you back, Coach. Thank you, obviously, again, for coming on and talking to us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So you've had a busy offseason, right? You've had a busy offseason with the team in the portal, and we're going to talk about that in a second. You also had a chance to coach the U18 FIBA women's basketball. You just won a gold medal. Tell us what that experience was like for you.
Yes, it was amazing. I've always obviously been a fan of USA basketball. I've watched it, recruited, been in the gym to observe and support and recruit, but to be a part of it was something special. And I worked with an incredible group of coaches. Terry from IU was our head coach, Terry Morin and Jose Fernandez, just phenomenal people and great coaches. And Bree Weiss from USA Basketball, pretty much everybody that was associated with USA Basketball was just unbelievable to work with. So I was so grateful. It was a blessing. And then to be able to, represent something bigger than yourself, represent your country in that form was a dream come true.
Yeah, I'm going to get to whether or not you were able to pick up some things that will be relevant to the current team coming up. But we'll get to that in a second. Over the offseason, I think that a lot of people were, with the portal and the way that works, you can very much make a splash with your team and acquiring new players from other programs. Leah Tu King out of Pittsburgh, Liza Carlin from Marquette. You're able to bring them in. Very good players. Talk to us about how did you specifically target those position groups, and what did you feel like they could bring to the team that you guys maybe not were lacking, but just something they could add to the 2024-2025 team?
Yes. Well, first off, just those two are just phenomenal people.
Yeah.
Women, and that was a position that I was targeting. Obviously Kylie Watson, that went down towards the end of the year with a knee injury. I knew I needed to fulfill that forward position, and luckily, I got, we got both of them. Just
Yeah.
you never know how that's going to work, and I felt like, first of all, I've played against Leah too, and I've watched Liza, so I've seen Leah too for the last 4 years. And so I knew what type of special player that she was. And then Liza, I've been watching, just scouting other teams, and seeing the impact that she made at Marquette. So they were perfect fits for what we needed. And then they were just even better character people that I thought that would really enhance our program, leadership wise and experience wise.
Yeah, Dara, you've had a chance to practice with the team a little bit in the recent weeks. What have you seen from them that has you so excited?
When I'm on the other team, they're all so hard to guard. It does, you can't take a break on any of them. Other teams are really going to have to pick your poison. And it's really nice to see just such a well-balanced offense and defense. But it's pretty to watch. It's flashy. It's pretty. It's fast paced. And it's a really fun thing to be a part of. I'm really excited to watch them this year.
Pretty to watch. Talk about the transition of, because it's almost like you're bringing in another one because Olivia was not able to play with the team last year. It's almost like you're bringing it. She's obviously known to the program, right? So on that sense, it's not like bringing in a transfer at all. But she hasn't been able to play with Hannah, right? In a 5-on-5 game situation. So you're kind of inputting her to that as well, especially as a point guard. And so then bringing in two players who, they're used to being the top players at their program, right? And you could say that Notre Dame at this point has 6 top players that if they were to go to another program, they might be the best player at that school. So what has that transition been like, just from a kind of a personality standpoint, I guess, in terms of just kind of, you've got 6 top dogs in your building right now?
It's been amazing to see it. And like you said, there's so much talent on this team. I'm so grateful for this group. They're really focused. They work really hard. They're very intentional. They're very unselfish. And so that's what it's been. I've been around an unselfish gym. And like Dara said, it's just, there's so much talent. We're so well balanced. They're all threats in every position. And I think that's what's the most exciting part for me, is that it allows a lot of freedom I give them a lot of freedom within the offense, but the offense to me is spread. It's more space in the offense because you can't sit off anyone. And I think that's been awesome to be around and to see it. And I've been putting in a lot of offensive and defensive concepts, and offensively just to see how much the floor is spaced and the IQ of this group. We play very fast. Hannah and Liv look amazing together. They're both very unselfish. We outlet to either one of them, and either one of them gets up the court. So I think that's the part that's going to be really hard for defenses to defend, because we have multiple ball handlers, and it's just been really fun. It's really fast. I like that Derek called it pretty. I think coaches love to hear that, but it's just really fun to see how much they share the ball and the chemistry that they've built this summer on the floor together. It's been fun to watch.
Did coaching with the U18s, excuse me, did that help you in terms of, obviously every one of those players is a top player wherever they're coming from, right? So did that help you kind of see how a bunch of different personalities, skill sets, top players can kind of mold and gel together? I was wondering if that was kind of maybe a side benefit that you wouldn't have, it was kind of fortuitous in the way that it kind of worked out.
Absolutely. And it's something that I thought of heading into camp. I felt like having a team like I have with so much talent, and like you mentioned, I have so many top great players on my team, and we're a lot deeper this year. having that and then being a part of USA basketball because they're the best of the best in the world, and just seeing how that came together, and I was it was very beneficial for me to see it and to be a part of it. And I think I'm going to take a lot from what I learned by being a part of that group and competing with so many great players on one team.
Mm-hmm. Has there been a surprise for you, I guess, just kind of in the early moments, and just like I thought it would take longer for us to get to this kind of point, I guess,
Yeah,
whether it be offensively, defensively, whatever it might be.
absolutely. I think I've been surprised collectively with both, with the offensive and defensive concepts. I try to keep the package pretty small this summer as far as adding a couple things offensively for us to work on. And they absorb the information so fast. So all of my new additions, they absorb that information so fast. And that's what I've been most impressed by. My freshman Kate and Leah and Liza, they picked up everything really fast. So I got a chance to move on and actually add more. And I didn't know how quickly that was going to process this summer. So I feel like we're further along than probably what I thought and imagined. I got a chance to put a lot of my defensive concepts in, and it's like the carryover has been really tremendous. And I've been really impressed with how well they've received information and how it's carried over from our breakdowns to 5-on-5 live action. The team is really smart. They just understand the game, and that was the goal this summer. Is just like I wanted them to just play and feel the game, and not just be like I put in a set. I wanted them to be able to kind of play off of each other, and I feel like they did that this summer, which has, for me, having my fourth summer, is more advanced than I've had.
That's true. I feel like whenever we come in, especially with the transfer portal, like it's the first couple practices, we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be doing defensive breakdowns for like 3 practices. It's like you like dread, like not dread, but like, I mean, like as a veteran, like older player, it would always be annoying, but like it's like so much teaching like in the summer. And like, I mean, it has not seemed like that at all, but like because I'm so excited about her, like, can you talk more about Kate?
Absolutely. Kate was probably the most, I've been impressed the most by her. And I say that because I think everybody, when you watch Kate, you've watched her play or seen her highlights, she's a 6'5" dominant post. She's got great hands, she has a great shot. So she has great touch. She can face up, she's inside out. But what I've been most impressed is her passing. And I think everybody that's been around it has been really impressed by her reads. And sometimes, to me, it takes, especially post players, you're not used to making decisions, and she makes great reads, and she's a phenomenal passer. I think I've been most impressed by seeing that side of her game, which within our system, I allow the offense to move through the post at times, and to see her passing ability has been really, really impressive for me. She is a worker. She is a dog. I know we always talk about Hannah being a dog. Kate Koval is a dog for a post. So I think it's just really fun to be around. She's really confident, and she works so hard. And it's just like you tell her one thing, she's going to go out there and she's going to do it, whatever you tell her, and she's going to adjust to your coaching or whatever you're adding. And I think that's been the most impressed thing I've seen, for especially a freshman post player. Sometimes it takes time for post players to pick up the system, to pick things up and gain confidence, and she has that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think listening to that, it's when you come in, especially as a young player, like you want to establish kind of your almost like offensive game, because it's the easiest thing to do, like going one-on-one and post moves and things like that. Like it's very easy to do that. The fact that you're telling me like she's coming in and gelling within the system of the team, like it's almost like supreme confidence. And like, I know that I have these moves, but also like I'm now building off of that, like into like listening to this conversation, like the vibes are just jumping off the screen right now, because you have a team, like, because I assume you were unsure about, like, you have these players, right? And you think, you watch their games and you watch how it could translate, and you think to yourself, okay, this is the potential, but when everyone walks in the gym for the first time, is it going to gel? Is it going to click? And it sounds like it's clicking in exactly the way that you would kind of want. You're already moving on to more diverse, complicated, types of sets, offensively, defensively. That has to be for you. I mean, you have to be over the moon. I mean, Dara and I were talking before you came on about, how excited you are, right? And she was wondering like how excited you are for this team. Where is your excitement level? Like, there's going to be a lot of hype around this team for the upcoming season. Like, are you feeling like, yes, that's warranted, we can handle that, we're ready to take on the challenge?
I am. I'm really excited, and I'm fortunate. I feel like I have an incredible committed team, and a team that is very focused. I don't have to ask this team to get in the gym. I don't have to ask this team to. They're all self-motivated, and I feel like we're finally at a point where we're player-led. All 10, 12 players. I have injured players that are working hard to get back on the court and getting healthy, but also when I step into the gym is full of energy. They're very intentional. They work hard, and I don't have to force that. And I think as a coach, that's what you love. I mean, I've been fortunate to coach Dara, and she was self-motivated. But to have a full gym of Dara's, to have a full gym that's really, really self-motivated, and like the goal is the goal. They all understand the goal, and they're just doing what they need to do individually to help us, to move us forward. I think that's been what I've been most excited about. But I know there's a lot of, everybody talks about our team. I go on the road, they talk about, the players, Olivia coming back. I'm super excited for her. And it is a lot of excitement surrounding us. And for me, my goal is just to continue to keep ball number one focus, and just focus on getting better every day, and not to try to get up into the hype of everything, but take advantage of each moment and try to get better each day. And they're fun to work with, and I'm fortunate and grateful for that.
You and me both, like, we've known Maddy, since she was younger, since I was younger. And I just see her, like, you're talking about leadership. You are talking about 1 through 10 or 12.
Yes.
But I mean, personally, so proud of her. You can tell, you can feel her leadership. Her mental is just at a completely different level. And like, speaking on her personally, she's getting ready to be a pro. She's developing really good habits. Like, just talk about Maddy and how nice it's been to see her grow into, the woman that she is today for you on the court and off.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of her. I think I'm more proud of who she's become as a woman, as a leader. Like you mentioned, she's been with me, so loyal and committed to me and the program. She's a legacy player, so somebody that really understands the value of Notre Dame. And I'm just so grateful for her, and so proud of the person that she is now. Like I said, her leadership. I think her game speaks for itself. She's always worked on her game, and she's always been the ultimate team player. But just to watch her leadership, like you mentioned, her mindset is at an all-time high. It's very elite. She's just an elite person. So the way that she trains, the way that she recovers, she's taken all these experiences the last 4 years, and she's at a pinnacle of her career. I think she's going to have just an incredible season. And I know that she's ready to, to continue to help us grow as a program. But I'm just really proud of who she's become and the work that she's put in, and the leadership piece. Cause I know that's hard, like becoming a leader, and watching her get to this point and being such a strong leader, I think is probably what I'm most proud of about Maddy. And I'm looking forward for her the season that she's going to have, and, what she's going to accomplish. Cause she's done so much for me. And I'm so, like I said, I love her so much. She's a legacy player, but I know that, this being her fifth and final year, she's going to, again, give us her all. And I'm really grateful for her for that.
Just a kind of another thing on Maddy too, like she came back, she didn't have to, she came back as a forward, right? Inside player. She had to know you guys were looking at forwards in the portal. Right. And I think that it's a confidence in, her role on the team. B, it's a show of leadership, just being signing on for that. And also her skill set. How does her skill set specifically allow for players like Leah and Liza to come in because she's a stretch. She can go out. She can pick and pop, and she can be the
Right.
pop on the 3-point shot. And how does that accommodate those two players and allowing them to play with her, kind of on the floor? Like, I feel like her versatility is specifically kind of helpful for what you brought in and helping build the team.
Absolutely. I was going to say, number one, her versatility. And then again, her confidence in the vision. She's bought in. She's always been bought in. So she understands the vision that I've, created for this program, and she sees it. She believes in it. So bringing in like players and forwards, like that doesn't affect her, because I brought in players that could complement her. And I kind of talked about that. So she's versatile. She could be the 5. She could be the 4. I put her at the 3. She's got great ball handling skills. She can shoot. She can pick and pop, but she's also strong enough to post, and she can defend multiple positions. And she's tough. She's gained such incredible experience playing in the ACC, playing our non-conference, that she's seen each and any type of post player or forward. So I knew bringing those two players in would complement her game and complement our system. And so, again, I think that credits her versatility, but also her confidence of being just being herself. And no matter who we brought in, I feel like she has so many strengths that, she makes players better. She makes our offense better, and she makes players better around her.
Yeah. It seems to me you've built a team that can win multiple ways in the half court, in transition, defensively, offensively, with the 3. And I think that, looking over the last 2 years, because of the adversity you faced, that wasn't necessarily the case. There was a certain kind of way that you guys had to win. And to your credit, like if you had a bad matchup, like you would compete in that matchup. But I think now, do you agree that you can now kind of dictate to teams the way that you want to play? And if they want to play a certain way, that you can dictate that level of playing the style, whatever another team might want to play that day.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's just, again, a credit to the size that we've gained, with adding Kate, adding Leah, adding Liza. We have depth in that position. We have big guards. I have a shooter coming back, Emma, who can stretch the floor. Cass, who's an Olympian, who can play multiple positions. Olivia Miles with pace, another ball handler, another leader, point guard, her experience and her being a 3-level scorer. So having multiple positions fulfilled and having depth is something that we lacked with the adversity. So I'm hoping, again, my staying healthy is always the number one goal for me. And then I'm always adjusting. So just strategically trying to adjust to whatever our team has and our opponent. I credit my staff. I have an incredible staff that does a great job of preparing us. We're very intentional with the way that we scout and prepare, so, depending on the season, depending on who we play, we're always trying to utilize our strengths in order to strategically dictate the game, like you mentioned.
Yes. Well, you've dealt with your share of adversity over the last 2 years. Hopefully some good fortune is coming your way this year. The law of averages says that it should happen for you. We're very excited. It sounds like it's going to be very fun to watch. It's going to be a very exciting, good basketball team. So good luck to you and everyone. Thanks again for coming on and give us a bit of your time. We'll be following along and covering it, and it's going to be a great time.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again, Coach.
Thanks.